Are you worried / nervous about the interest rate? How much did you put down as a deposit?
Yeah.
And of course, the price information. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Q&A here on my channel. Welcome back, Lewis.
It's good to be back.
So Lewis is my partner / boyfriend. We're now 30, so I feel like it's kind of weird to call him my boyfriend. Lewis is my partner, and he has joined us for the house Q&A. So if you have been following me, or if you haven't been following me, we just recently bought our second home, and we are currently in the process of, we have already sold our current house. So we're doing a buying Q&A this time, and then we'll do a selling Q&A next time.
Yep.
So if you do have any questions about selling a house in Australia or just in general, leave the comments or the questions down below and we'll answer them as best as we possibly can.
Yep.
All right.
Let's get into this.
All right, you ready to jump straight in?
Yep.
What sort of additional costs do you have to factor in when buying a house? When you're looking at buying a property, it's not only the house price that you have to factor in, but things like stamp duty, conveyancing fees, rates, like all the settlement fees that you have to consider when you're purchasing a home.
Yeah, and I guess there's also LMI insurance.
Yeah, as well.
If you're under 20%.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the fee or the penalty that you pay goes on top of the loan.
Well, it's your choice. You can either put it on top of your loan, which we did for this house, for our first house that we bought. I think we had 10% deposit.
Yep.
And so then we put the LMI on top of the mortgage, but you can pay that up front as well. But I think most people put it on their mortgage just because, it just kind of makes a bit more sense.
And I guess with the interest over a long term, that whatever that fee is ends up being quite a bit. But if it allows you to get into the market, I think. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of worth paying, it allowed us to get into this house. Yeah,
and there's also government fees as well, which you pay on settlement. So when you buy the property, it's the property value that you purchase it for, the stamp duty. If you're not a first home buyer and you're over a certain amount, you do have to pay stamp duty, which is quite a large sum.
Yeah, the stamp duty is a bit of a killer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it can be anywhere between $20,000 and $70,000 depending on the property value, or even more. Way more.
Yeah.
And that you have to pay up front too. I don't think that can go on your mortgage.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, we're not sure about that. But you do have to consider that, which is a very big cost. So it's not just the deposit. It's the LMI, stamp duty, government fees, conveyancing fees. You have to pay some parts of the rate as well, like the council rates when you do settle. So there are lots and lots of different fees that you have to think about and consider when purchasing a property.
And insurance as well.
And insurance. So before you settle on the property, you have to prove to the bank that you have got house insurance, like just basic house insurance. You have to make sure that it is insured before your settlement date. Yeah. So for us, we settle on the new house on the 11th of November, but our insurance for that house starts on the 21st of October.
Yeah, and we had to pay that, didn't we? Or on that day?
It depends on the bank. So some banks require a certificate of currency, which is to show that you have paid for the insurance. Yeah. Others just require a copy of the policy to show that you will pay it. Okay. So it depends on your bank. So we are with ANZ for this house, and they only required a copy of the policy. But for our new house, they required a certificate of currency. Yeah. Which is to show that we've paid for it. I'm pretty sure.
So most likely in order of largest to smallest expenses. Yeah. It obviously goes deposit, stamp duty if that applies to you. Yeah. Conveyancing
LMI.
Or LMI if that applies to you.
Conveyancing,
insurance, rates.
And then all the other government fees as well, which is $200-300. Yeah. And the thing is as well, you're not actually going to know the total of settlement until a couple of days or a couple of weeks before your settlement date as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So the conveyancer will give you a heads up and say this is the amount that you have to have in a certain account on the day of settlement, and that's a rough guide as well.
It's so weird, when we bought this place, and I guess it'll be the same for the new one, I would have expected they'd have it organised to give you just a straight number. Yeah. But they're we're not exactly sure, but have this amount in the account just in case. Yeah. So it was a bit weird,
It was a bit weird. Are you worried / nervous about the interest rates?
Yeah. Yes. A little bit.
Yes, yeah. I think just because, sorry, our cat's going crazy in the background. I think because we were on fixed for like 2 years and then coming out of fixed and it being such a big jump so far within this house, it has it's not scared us a little bit, but we're sort of like, oh, okay, like we really do need to cut back and find other ways.
Yeah, like it is a little bit concerning, like it's something we've definitely thought about.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of the coin, like there's no way we would have bought this new house without kind of planning for the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we planned for the worst, like a way higher interest rate.
Yeah, I think we said like 7% or something like that.
Yeah. And we were still like able to service that loan, like if worse got to worse.
Yeah.
So we were kind of basing it on that.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, we can still do that. So that means it's good for us to go now.
Yeah.
At the current rates.
Yeah.
I bet it is still something that's like always in the news. So like I feel like you're constantly, not constantly, but it's kind of just like comes to the front of your mind.
What's it called? Fear-mongering? Is that what the media does? Fear-mongering? Like they put, like it is scary, like don't get us wrong, but I think that the media really pushes this sort of fear that like, oh, like people aren't going to be able to afford homes and interest rates are becoming like unlivable, which they are.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to budget properly and work within your own means, not what the like media tells you.
Yeah. And I feel like if we couldn't service the loan, like we just wouldn't have got the house.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If we weren't able to service it at worst case scenario, we wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, and that wasn't the mortgage broker assessment or the bank's assessment. That was our own thing, which was even higher than what the bank does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went like way over.
Yeah.
Rather than what the bank assessed us on.
Yeah.
How much did you put down as a deposit? So I think we'll just answer this as a percentage.
20%.
20%. We put 20% down as a deposit. We were very fortunate and lucky enough that we could do that. So
100%.
For this current house, well, not for this current house, sorry, the next house, we won't have to pay LMI, which is awesome because we did put down 20% deposit. We do have to pay stamp duty though. Which
Yeah, we do.
We're not looking forward to.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like you can't not do it. So
yeah.
And we did consider doing 10% for the new house, but the LMI was just like crazy.
Yeah.
Like you almost, it just makes sense to save the bit extra and just do 20%.
Yeah, I think that if you're in the position to do it, like it's amazing. Like we're very lucky that we were in the position to put down 20%, but like you certainly don't have to. For this first house, we put down 10% and we paid the LMI.
Yeah.
We put it on top of the loan. So just different situations.
Yeah.
With Lewis being self-employed, do they go off tax returns to confirm income? That's a you question.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it's like a massive pain in the ass, excuse me, as like a business owner to apply for a loan.
Like I thought that me being like a CRT was going to be the issue. Like we were actually really nervous that we weren't going to get the loan because of me this time, but it was still because of you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we weren't applying together, like I'm not sure if I would have got the loan by myself the first time and this time.
Yeah.
So having you as a teacher's like helps a lot.
It does, but like I do have an ongoing position which I think that the bank knows about.
Yeah.
But I don't have consistent income this year, so it's really interesting. But they really made you jump through hoops to prove that, to prove your income.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, how did they ask for you to prove your income?
Yeah, as for the question, I asked just for like my ABN tax returns, just through my business name, and then I've transitioned over to like a company structure. So they were like asking about the transition over to the company and like if you transition, does it reset it? But for me, it doesn't. Like you're able to kind of take your income from ABN to company and still use those, even though they're different structures. So that was all good. But then they needed an accountant's letter. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Where my accountant pretty much had to explain in like a letter, I guess like what my business does, because it's kind of like digital marketing, so it's a bit of a kind of grey area, because you can't just say I do that, because it's kind of
a bit of and no one really knows what you do.
It's kind of a bit of a mixed bag, and the business has grown a bit over the last 3 to 4 years. So they were also like wanting an explanation as to like why the business has grown.
Yeah.
Which was in that letter.
Yeah. They just wanted to make sure that you were legit.
Yeah, but like all the tax returns have done, like I've paid my taxes, so like it's all good to go. But I think they're just a bit more cautious.
They're
with
really,
businesses.
Yeah, they're business
owners.
Yeah, banks are really, really particular with like businesses and really make you like work for it.
Yeah. So I guess just like having your like accounting in order. Like they didn't go through my accounts. They just wanted to see like the profit and loss statement, how much I spent, how much I earned, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they didn't like want access to like my QuickBooks and stuff, like which would have been like pretty intense. But yeah, I kind of understand it from their perspective, because owning a business can be a bit risky.
Yeah.
So definitely. I guess they just want to be sure that, like, you know,
you can service the loan.
Yeah. It is just what it is, I guess.
Yeah. How did you decide what you'd be willing to spend? I think that what we did was, it is a really good question. I think that we looked at the type of house that we wanted.
Yeah.
And the price range of those houses.
Yeah.
And then we just worked out, okay, how much would we be willing to pay every single month to have a house like that?
Yeah.
Still live comfortably.
Yeah. Isn't there like a thing that's like an inflection? So it's like what you want, how much you're willing to spend, and then that whatever that meeting point is.
What you need?
Or like...
I don't know what it is.
Or like, yeah. So like what we were... Pretty much what you said.
Yeah. So
like the house that we wanted to get.
Yeah.
But then realistically, like the price that we could afford.
Yeah.
And then that kind of like brings down...
Yeah.
Like the reality.
Yeah. So I think we both have we had a very clear idea on the kind of house that we wanted.
Yeah.
And the style and a maximum price that we were really willing to spend. And we tried to stick to that as much as we possibly could.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were looking for like 9 months.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know how we came to that figure, because it would have been 9 months ago, but during that 9 months, like prices went up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a sliding scale.
Yeah.
Depending on the market, like you might be like, oh, I want a 4-bedroom. The market goes up, the prices change, and then you're like, oh, actually, we can only afford a 3-bedroom now, kind of thing.
So I think it just depends on like your budget, your income, and like what you're willing to spend on a house as well.
Yeah.
And we also did take into consideration that rates were going to change too.
Yeah. And another thing like is that we were kind of, I think at the beginning we were thinking of spending a little bit less.
Yes.
But then we were thinking, oh, like we're in the position where we can kind of almost buy like a kind of dream house.
Yeah.
So we were thinking it might just make sense to spend more now instead of like getting like a middle stepping stone house and just go straight to that.
Which is like, if you watch my previous video where I did the house hunting vlog, where we found a house that we thought would be really good, we'd have to renovate the entire thing.
Yeah.
But that was going to cost more money and time.
Yeah, it was like...
So we also took that into consideration as well.
Yeah, it was like $300,000 under our budget.
Yeah.
Which was great. And then...
But then it was going to cost that to redo it.
Or it wouldn't have been that much, but then we were thinking, like realistically, we might outgrow that house in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
So then we're thinking, we'll actually have to move again. Or we wouldn't have to, but we might want to.
We might need to, yeah.
So I guess we kind of just skipped that and went to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of already answered this question, but I'll ask it anyway. What was the differences in purchasing price for first home buyers versus now, stamp duty, etc.? Were there extra costs involved, and generally is the process any different to buying your first? So I'd say that the process isn't any different.
No.
Really? Like, you still have to get your pre-approval. The bank still has to assess your income and your job. I'd say that the main difference was stamp duty for us.
Yeah.
Because as first home buyers, we were under the $600,000 threshold.
Yeah.
For the first home buyers, which means that you didn't have to pay stamp duty.
Yeah, it was great.
So, yeah, so good. So I'd say that that's the main...
I feel like if anything, it was a bit less stressful and a bit just less friction this time.
Yeah.
Like when we applied to get pre-approval for house hunting this time around, I feel like we got approved within a week.
Yeah, less than, maybe
even less. And then like that lapsed because we were looking for a while. So we had to renew it, and then we were like stressing like, well, they want to go through everything again.
Yeah.
But then it got renewed within like 2 days.
Yeah.
So I just feel like because we've got a loan, the banks were just maybe a bit more trusting.
Yeah, and I think our actual approval for the loan was a bit quicker too.
Yeah.
But I did find this time though, and it could be just my memory's a little bit funny, that the paperwork process was a lot different. I feel like this time there was so much extra paperwork. And I don't know if that's me.
Yeah, we had to do like passport photos,
proof
of identity.
Yeah, proving of identity, like signing all these bloody documents.
Yeah.
And I can't remember doing that.
Neither can
last time. Like, I feel like there was maybe it's because we were buying and selling at the same time.
Possibly,
but I still feel like there was a lot of paperwork. Be prepared for lots and lots of paperwork. Yeah. Did you consider renting your current place out, or did you need to sell it to secure finance? It's a good question.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think.
Initially, yes, we did consider renting this house out.
Yeah.
But the rental yield in the area where this house is located, but it just doesn't. There's no way that we could rent this place out and then afford the difference. Like the rent won't cover the mortgage rate.
Yeah, and I think we would have been out about $1,000 a month out of pocket.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, we could still pay.
No fighting on the couch.
No fighting. So yeah, we would have been out of pocket about $1,000, and then we were looking at kind of the potential capital growth of this place. So it's like a 2-bedroom unit, so those typically don't grow
too much. Yeah.
So I feel like if it was a 3-bedroom house, then I would have been a bit more inclined to keep it.
And because you can charge more and there's more potential for that growth.
Yeah. But as for whether or not we needed this house to secure the loan, we didn't, but we did put it down as an investment property. Like we were going to transition it into an investment property.
Yeah.
Just because that's what the mortgage broker recommended.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, we're selling this place. So yeah, we were like fortunate that we didn't have to like pull equity from this place or use it as like an investment property.
Yeah.
Because I think in some situations you actually like have to keep it as an investment property to secure the new loan.
Yeah.
There was no kind of connection between the two for us, luckily. So yeah.
Which there was also a question on equity that someone asked as well. Why didn't you use equity of your current house to buy? Main thing is because we were going to sell it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like if you use equity, you basically have to keep the house until you pay off that equity that you've used.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah. If it's not, let us know down below because we could be wrong. But we didn't want to do that. We love this house, but we can't afford to keep both.
Yeah, and the equity that we could have pulled from this house, like would have definitely helped, but it wouldn't have paid for the entire deposit. So we're just like, we'll just pay the 20%, sell this place. And
then use that money that we like the equity.
Yeah.
Use that money towards the new house for
exactly.
styling and stuff.
Yeah, we're planning on doing an Airbnb. I'm not sure if you've mentioned that or.
I don't think I have, but
that's maybe a future video.
We're hoping to use. You'll see in a house tour, which someone did have a question. Will you be doing a house tour? I can't wait to see it. Of course, we'll be doing an empty house tour and then a furnished house tour as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the house does have a studio out the back, so we're hoping to turn that into an Airbnb if it's possible.
Yeah.
And that money that we get from selling this house will hopefully help us out.
Yeah.
To pay for that. What areas of Melbourne did you buy and why? And all of the price information, of course.
All the deets, eh?
All of the of course, you guys just came for the price. I mean, like I would too. So
yeah, of course, that's what everyone. Any video I watch, you want the numbers.
You want to know the numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll answer the first part first. Still in eastern suburbs of Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'm an eastern girl. Grown up in the east.
Yeah, I didn't. It's hard to care.
You're from New Zealand, so you don't care. Why did we buy out that way? Well, because I grew up in the eastern suburbs and we really like the area that we bought purely because it's still nature, but it's still suburbia.
Yeah, I'd say it's like pushing not even suburbia. Like it's kind of on the fringes. But still very like leafy and things are close by.
And it's still close to a lot of the things that we do like. So like the beach, the winery areas or like Yarra Valley, family. Like we're not too far away. It's only like 20 minutes from this house.
Yeah, not even.
20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe.
Yeah. So good location. We're pretty happy with it.
Yeah. And of course the price information. So we'll give you a price range just purely for privacy reasons. Like I'm sure you guys are all cool. Like I'm sure like we don't really want you to know exactly where we live.
Yeah.
But the price range was is
1.1 to 1.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, like that was kind of on the higher end of our budget, but yeah, we're so happy with the place we got. So
yeah, we love it.
Yeah, we're not like sad about going on the top end. So yeah.
Would you have considered moving elsewhere in Australia? And are you happy living in Melbourne? I love Melbourne. Actually, we did just come back from a trip in Tassie. And before that trip, we were considering buying a house in Tasmania. Purely because they were cheaper.
Oh, yeah. You can get a stunning house for like such a deal. Compared to like Tassie. Any other major city. Maybe except for like Adelaide or Perth, but as for moving, like I feel like that's such like an underrated thing that not many people take advantage of. Like, I didn't grow up in Melbourne, so I'm not like 100% like tied to Melbourne.
Yeah, whereas I am.
Yeah, but I'd like definitely like consider moving to like Ballarat, Tasmania, Perth, just for like the cheaper house prices.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't have many ties to a particular area, then like, why wouldn't you? But like my entire family's in Melbourne, and like I would have considered definitely to Tasmania because it is only an hour flight away. Like it's super, super close. Maybe not to Queensland because I'd be burnt pretty much the entire year. Like I'm so fair.
Yeah, I guess you can like look at the kind of more like rural regional cities like Ballarat, Bendigo, those kind of places. So you're still close by to family and friends, but it's not like a plane trip away kind of thing.
And like it is easier to like travel, I guess, like in a car rather than on a plane. But we did consider it, but
I think I was more open to it and like keen, but you weren't too keen.
Especially because we do have like pets as well. Like we do have 2 cats. So I was a bit more nervous, I guess, moving them far.
Yeah, but I feel that's not a big deal. Like you just like
we've already discussed this. Like I don't know how I would have felt putting them on the Spirit of Tasmania. Like for me, it's stressful enough. So
yeah, but I feel like you can't let that stop you from moving.
Yeah. So if you're after advice, ask Lewis. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for all of your questions. If you do have any others, please make sure that you do leave a comment down below, and Lewis and I will do our very best to answer them as best as we can.
For the selling house one.
Yeah, so this is for selling house, or even if you do have any other questions about buying a house that we may have not have answered, or if you want some extra clarification on any of our answers that we've given you today. Yeah,
because I think when we bought this place, did we do 2 videos?
We did 2. Yeah, we did 2 videos as well. So I'll leave them linked as well somewhere.
Yep.
So please make sure that you go and watch those. One is tips, and then one is also the process as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Cool. So yeah. This was fun.
Thanks, Lewis, for coming on today. Love having you.
It's good to come on.
Yeah. Make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and subscribe as always.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a video sometime in the very near future.
See ya.
Bye.